We're at the Reyes Davis Gallery. I'm Judy Jashinsky, and this is my exhibition on the Fisherwomen. And
here it is.
And here it is, yeah. This is the large mural that is kind of the centerpiece of the show. The Fisherwomen are Japanese and Korean women who were divers for shellfish and seaweed for these small islands off the coast of Japan. This is an interesting aspect of what all of the fisherwomen have, and that's it's a kind of a sword or curved knife that was made out of wood but carved to a point so that they could get the seaweed off the bottom of the ocean.
Oh. And that explains what that is.
Yeah, yeah, and they all have it, and I like it because not only is it something that they all wore, but it's a really interesting design device in terms of the overall image. Since everything is all in tones of blues and greens, the dark hair and this like knife device really add interest to the artwork itself.
It's very soothing, by the way. The colors, etc.
Yeah, and I'm very interested in that. This whole idea that when you're in the water, it's kind of a world unto itself. It's very peaceful and quiet, but it can also be somewhat dangerous. So. Because of course they were holding their breath, and so they held their breath for a long time, and were able to go down and actually collect things, and then go back up, leave them, and then come back down. So
this is part of the process.
Yeah, and this is what this rope would be for. There would be a bucket down here underneath, and they would dive down, put the stuff in the bucket, and then there'd be a boat above that would pull the seaweed and the shellfish up.
Okay. I want to ask you about the frame that you have here. This is it's a three-dimensional frame, which is obviously a characterization of the rope.
Yeah.
So how did you think of that idea?
This is a very, serendipitous thing. Bridget Reyes and I went to Home Depot. And there it was.
Really?
I mean, we looked at a lot of molding, but this was there and it was perfect. So
I'm going to ask you another question about the way that you've pieced the paper together, but yet you keep the same tone. I'm not sure if this paper is a little lighter than that, but
there is a tonal difference. It's a little lighter at the top, a little darker here. In the early plan, it was going to have another darker one down here.
Yeah.
And then I decided on a long horizontal instead.
Yeah.
But the reason for the pieces of paper is I've been doing this for about 10 or 15 years now.
Really?
I work with a group that does showing internationally, and we have big spaces, and we have to usually carry the work with us on the plane. And so I decided I would figure out a way to make the paper strong enough so that you could work on it, and then spray it with Krylon, lots of Krylon, so it's very sealed, and then put it in a portfolio and carry it and be able to put it up with push pins and do an on-the-spot framing.
What are the dimensions of this piece?
This is 44 by 160.
Good for a hallway.
Good for a hallway. Good for a hallway.
Now, can you show us how your
be an aquarium in the living room?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I assume that you swim.
I do.
Okay.
I do. So these are the fisherwomen as they're diving into the water. So this was for me an interesting way of showing what they looked like before they actually went in. And once again, they have the same outfit, and in a way you can see it better. The weights. These are weights, and then they wear this tiny loincloth, and they wear goggles, and they, pull their hair back in a certain way, but they really are bare minimum so that they have the maximum flexibility in the water.
Okay. But isn't there hazards that you have to be concerned with when you're diving like that?
I think they did this for so many years. I mean, they did this for hundreds of years.
They're tough.
They're tough. And they did it well into... There's a woman, a Korean woman who is 84 who still does it.
Oh. So there's not necessarily any applied eroticism in this because of the nudity.
In fact, I'm trying to be away from that. I'm trying to say that they're athletic, beautiful women who are not necessarily glamorous.
Yeah.
They're doing their job like athletes,
But couldn't that be erotic still?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's all in the eye of the beholder.
I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if Playboy were to call you and ask you to do an illustration based on the series, right?
Wouldn't that be interesting?
I think you'd take that job.
I think I would, yeah.
Can we see some of the other pieces that you have over here?
This is one that illustrates what I was talking about. They go down, she's pulling the rope and she's saying, okay, take the bucket up. So this is like the process.
Oh, that looks like, there's a working progress there.
Yeah. You got someone up there who's retrieving. But I wasn't so much into that in most of the imagery because I just like the kind of poetic movement of the body.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually, to me, one of the more successful of the smaller pieces, just because of the complexity of it, the viewpoint and so on. Very nice.
Great.
And what do you call that?
This one is Fisherwoman Ascending.
Okay. Makes sense. Now,
they all have pretty straightforward titles,
I want to ask you, how long is your exhibit going to be here, and how can people see more of your work?
The exhibit will be here through November 28th.
Oh, good.
And they can see more of my work on my website, Jashinsky.com.
That's easy to remember.
It's very easy to remember. And on Reyes Davis' website, which is ReyesDavis.com. So, ReyesDavisGallery.com.
And if you're an avid swimmer, then she'll be happy to do a portrait for you.
Absolutely. You want to become a fisherwoman?
Sounds like a plan.
Give me an email.
That's got to be a niche market, though.
Yes, you're right.
Well, this is very beautiful, and with the right furniture, I can imagine you have quite an atmosphere with this. This is great.
Well, my idea is that everybody can have a little aquarium in their house, and they don't have to deal with it in any way but just hanging it there.
Right. And you've got a nice little turnout tonight, too.
Yeah.
People here, so congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.